Hey guys, it's Jen and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to do something different, just something relaxed, just super chill. I'm going to share my eyeshadow collection with you guys. I went ahead and sat down and filmed all of my little eyeshadow palettes and my singles, and you know, I kind of did the best I could. I'm not the most amazing camera person in the world, but I think it came out okay, and it was certainly a lot of fun to film. And these are videos that I like watching. I'm always curious to see what other people have, so I thought, why not go ahead and share what I have with you guys today. Very relaxed, not even wearing makeup. You're not going to see my face a whole lot. You're just going to hear me talking behind the camera, and I'm just going to show you guys my eyeshadow collection and kind of touch on, you know, some things here and there as to why I got them, why I love them, and you know, basically just keeping it simple and keeping it relaxed. And if you guys are interested in watching that, then stick around because we're going to get started right now. We're going to start with the Proceed with Caution. And I actually really like this palette. I don't use it very often, but it is very pretty and it creates beautiful smoky looks. This yellow is absolutely stunning. I love it. Let's do a little swatch. I'm not going to swatch everything or else we're going to be here all day long, but this is a very pretty palette, and I really enjoy this one from ColourPop. Next in my ColourPop collection is the Sweet Talk palette. This is my absolute favorite palette. I use it all the time for my everyday looks. As you can see, it is a complete and total wreck. This palette is just, for me, these shades just really speak to me. I really love the warm neutrals. They're just something that I am just going for on a regular basis, just something that I really enjoy using. This ColourPop palette definitely has my heart. I love this palette. These are the only Super Shock shadows that I own. I only have two. I enjoy them, but to be honest, I don't really use them that often. They're okay. They're not my absolute favorite. They're just all right. I mean, yes, they're soft and extra shiny and all that fun, good stuff. They do have a lot of reflect to them, but for some reason, and I couldn't tell you why exactly, I don't really gravitate toward these very often. I do have them in my collection. I probably should revisit them. I don't know what it is. I don't feel drawn to these for some reason. Couldn't tell you why. I just don't. I have some stacks here from MAC. These are just basically loose pigment. Got like purple, and there's a really light champagne-y color, and then there's more of a brownish purple here. These are just my little MAC loose stack eyeshadows. I don't really use loose pigment very often. They are incredibly messy, very pigmented as they are, and it's great, but I don't really gravitate toward these. I mostly keep these in the background and don't really use them very often. I also have this little kind of like a putty consistency, and it's just basically a shimmery kind of topper from MAC that you just go ahead and put on top of your eyeshadow. It's not the most, it's a little dried out, honestly. It's got reflect to it, but it's not my favorite eyeshadow. I don't use it very often, but you know, it's here. It's in my collection, so set MAC aside. Next up is Sugar Pill, and this is the little twin stars. I basically got this not really to use it so much, but just to have it in my collection. I have used it. You can see that I've dipped in there and given it a try, but basically it's just because it is Sugar Pill, it's the little twin stars, it's nostalgia, and I just wanted to have this in my collection, so it just kind of hangs out. It doesn't really do a whole lot except look really cute, and that's what it's there for. Next, we're going to talk about my MOIRA eyeshadow palettes that I have here. I have quite a few of them, but the reason why I don't use these in my rotation is that these are really for my kit. They are not for my personal use, so I keep them sanitized and pretty much in my kit for if I'm ever doing makeup on someone else. I only am bringing them out here because they are a part of my makeup collection. They're a part of my eyeshadow collection, just not something that I use for myself. I just keep them clean and set aside just for, you know, makeup jobs. Should I ever be called out for a makeup job? And they are really pretty, but again, these are just for my kit. I thought I'd show them to you guys anyhow. Next up is Makeup Geek, and you guys know that I love these quads that I picked up from Target. These are absolutely gorgeous. The mattes are beautiful, blendable, just very stunning. I just love these so much. Let's just kind of crack one of these suckers open really quick. This is just like, this shade right here is crazy. Just gonna have to put that like right here. I don't know if you guys can see this or if it's like really blurry. I've never filmed my eyeshadow collection before, but you know. This I got in a giveaway from Debbie Knobloch. This palette is just absolutely gorgeous. I'm so excited to have this in my collection. So this is my little Makeup Geek collection that I have, and I love these shadows. I think they're amazing. And of course, you remember my Ciate London palette from my Let's Be Friends. I wore this palette on my wedding day. Yes, it is very dirty, but it is so beautiful. I love the shades in here. It has been used and loved like crazy, as you guys can see. It's just a really beautiful eyeshadow palette, and it is among my faves. It's definitely in my heart because, you know, wore it on my wedding day, and I love this palette. It's really dirty. Sorry. Okay, putting that away. Next up, we have the Sultry palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I did have the Norvina palette. I ended up giving it to someone. I keep this palette not because I love it so much. It's just okay. It isn't one of my favorites. There are shades in here that I do use quite often that you can see, but other than that, most of them have barely been touched because this palette just doesn't really do anything for me. It's just not my favorite eyeshadow palette, but I keep it. And it's here, so this is the only one that I own from Anastasia Beverly Hills currently, and I'm totally okay with that. So yeah, moving on. Next up is our dose of colors, and I know this looks like it's just had its butt kicked, but I love this Friendcation palette. This is one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes. I did use this in my final when I was attending school at April Love Pro Makeup Academy, and the shades in here are just, this right here, hello. Just look at that. It's just, oh my gosh. I'm sorry. That is just so pretty. Terrible swatch. Terrible swatch. But it really is just such a beautiful palette. I love the cool tones in here. They're gorgeous. I love the shimmers in here. Absolutely beautiful. I use this a lot. Clearly, it has been well loved, and if you don't have this palette, I recommend it. But this is one that I really like from Dose of Colors, is the Friendcation palette. Next up is my Natasha Denona little collection that I have here, and you guys can see that I've got a handful of these little minis. This one is kind of strange, and I do love Natasha Denona, I'm not gonna lie, but when I wet the brush to add kind of a foiled look with this particular shade here, for some reason it ruined it. It didn't go very well. It reacted badly to it, but still a very soft eyeshadow and still very pigmented. I don't know, this one didn't like having a wet brush put in it for some reason. It just added a strange kind of texture to it once I wet the brush and used that for this eyeshadow. I don't know why. I really have no idea what happened, but I do love this palette a great deal. I love all four of these palettes. They are among my favorites. You guys see me use this on a regular basis because I happen to be a fan of Natasha Denona, so I do have these, and we'll probably have more in the future. The only reason why I didn't buy the bronze one that is out now is because I feel like I have a lot of bronzy shades already, and there really just isn't a reason for me to be so very tempted by that particular palette at this point in time. But this is my Natasha Denona. I love it. I'm glad that I have these in my collection, and I do use them often. Next up is my Pat McGrath, and this is from the Sublime collection. I just got one of the small ones. This is the only Pat McGrath I own, and I do love this palette. I have used it many times. It's just such a beautiful palette. I love the golds in here, the coppers. I love the eyeshadows. I love this matte. It's absolutely fantastic. This is one that I've used quite a bit, and I'm glad that I have it. I do want to get one of the larger palettes. I haven't committed to the big price tag just yet. I do love this palette. I am glad that I have it. Let's get into the more affordable side of things and talk about e.l.f. These little bite-sized palettes are awesome. I love them. $3. I do have the Retro Paradise palette. This is the only large e.l.f. palette that I have, and I have to say I really enjoy e.l.f. eyeshadows. They are making really killer products, and I'm glad that I have these in my collection. I do have a video upcoming for this retro eyeshadow palette, and I really enjoy the look that I created. Very summery, very bright, very easy to use, and just beautiful and affordable. So you can't go wrong with this. e.l.f. is really rocking it out, you guys. I have a great deal of appreciation for them. So this is my little e.l.f. collection right here that I'm sharing with you guys, and off it goes. And from Huda Beauty, we've got the Nude and we've got the Mauve Obsessions. I do like these palettes. I think that they're nice and the shades are very beautiful, but I don't use it very often. I don't know what it is. It's super creamy. It's a wonderful formula, but the fact of the matter is it's for some reason I just don't gravitate towards this eyeshadow palette, nor do I the Nude. I think the reason why I don't really like the Nude one is that I wish I'd gotten the medium. I decided to get the light. I thought it would work well for my skin tone, and now that I have it, I really feel like the medium would have been far more suitable for me. So perhaps if I pick that up in the future, I might enjoy it a little bit more, but currently, as you can see, I rarely touch this eyeshadow palette. I mean, happy to have it. I think that medium would have been a better way for me to go. So this is my little Huda collection. Okay, now we're in the land of Juvia's Place. And this one, this little Nubian, I keep in my kit. It's been sanitized, and that's just something that I keep for clients. And if I'm doing any kind of shows that April calls me out for, which obviously I haven't done in a while because we're in quarantine land, but that should be starting up again here pretty soon. I do love this, but I don't use it on myself. And I have this one also, which is just gorgeous. I love their eyeshadows. I think they're absolutely wonderful. I know it looks like I haven't used this much because I haven't. The times that I have used it, I've really enjoyed it. I just have to get back around to it because I do have quite a few eyeshadows, and this one I really love as well. And you can see it is kind of a mess. I do love this eyeshadow palette a great deal. Again, just the pigment and the blendability of these shades, these shadows are just absolutely amazing. You really can't go wrong with Juvia's Place because it's affordable and very pigmented. I don't know what the hell happened there, but yikes, poor baby. What happened to you? Anyway, beautiful eyeshadow palette, beautiful eyeshadows, incredibly affordable, and as you can see, very well loved. I do have quite a bit of Juvia's Place, so this is a brand that I like a lot. Next up is our Makeup Revolution. Now this one I got for free, and you guys know this Brave Spirit palette is just not one of my favorites. It is, it's interesting. It was interesting to use, and I'm glad that I tried it. This little buddy basically sits in the background, and you know, that's that for that. And the AC just kicked on, sorry guys. This one actually is one that I really enjoy from Makeup Revolution. Forever Flawless Fire palette. This one's really decent. It's not bad. The mattes and everything blend pretty easily. The shimmers show up nicely. This is a decent eyeshadow palette, so although I don't use it every single day, I do enjoy it, and I do reach for it from time to time. It certainly hasn't been forgotten, so there's something to be said for that. Next we have from Melt Cosmetics their Impulsive Press Pigment Palette. I actually really enjoy this a great deal. I would like to get some more Melt Cosmetics as soon as I can because these are really nice eyeshadows. I know it requires a bit of finesse to get them to go on properly without buddying up, but once you do get them on properly, they're just gorgeous. The pigment is just, it's there, it's beautiful. These shadows are just absolutely lovely, so I'm excited to have this palette, and I do use this pretty often. It's already become quite a mess, as you can see, and I don't know, I like it. I've been really enjoying it, and I look forward to getting some more Melt eyeshadow palettes in the future. Next up, we've got our little Starlight Studios, and you guys know that I just did a little quick review on these, and these are their little jelly eyeshadows. They're more of a moussey kind of texture. They're only $4, and let me blend this sucker out so you guys can see. Look at the reflect on that. I mean, that's just for $4. I mean, you can't really beat it. I don't know why they call them jelly shadows because it is more of a mousse kind of deal than a jelly kind of deal, but yeah, they're just, look at that gold right there. That's just, dude, I don't know. I can honestly say that I really like these from Starlight Studios. They're just fun. I'm glad I got them. Next up is from Dominique Cosmetics, and this is the Celestial Storm palette. I recently did a video on this. I don't know if it's going to be up yet or not before this goes up, but you guys can see here, these are some beautiful shades. This is a gorgeous eyeshadow palette. I love the layout of this palette, and I really enjoy the mattes and the shimmers in this palette. This retails for $44, but I got it at Namie's where I get my pro discount, so it cost me about 29 bucks for me, and tax I think is what it was, and I'm just really excited to have this. I really enjoy this palette, and I'm glad that I picked it up. Next up, we've got some little singles here that I got from Saucebox. And these I got at a little pop-up sale. I have never used either of these. I just recently tried this one, and they are very pigmented. They're very lovely eyeshadows. And I have to honestly say, I really do like the eyeshadows. I don't know if they're still having any trouble with the company itself, but these eyeshadows are quite lovely, and I'm gonna have to try them at some point. But this one right here in the shade Moth, this is pretty amazing. So now I really do want to try these other two and see how I like them, because my gosh, they're just sitting in the background doing nothing. So these are my little Saucebox singles that I got. Next, we've got our little Zoeva palette. I do enjoy this. It's cute. Now that I've played with it a little bit more, I think initially when I did my review on it, the reason why I didn't like it is that I used a matte white, kind of like a highlight kind of deal. It was just my choice on how I placed the shadows as to why I just wasn't feeling it too much. But the fact of the matter is, these are some lovely mattes, and it's a nice little 6-pan. So I'm pretty glad to have this. I need to get get a little more use out of it. Yeah, I think it's pretty lovely. I like the packaging too. This mini city palette I do absolutely love. It is a very warm, neutral little mini deal to have. This one is incredibly well loved. The only one I've actually hit pan on. If that tells you anything right there, I mean, that's like, this is something that looks like I have a little hard pan right there, but this is an eyeshadow palette that I really enjoy. It's a very easy, quick go-to look, and it is a nice little neutral palette to have if you got a little extra shimmer on the side to go ahead and pop on there to really spruce and brighten it up. It's dirty as all get out, but you can see that I really enjoy this palette a great deal and have used it like crazy. So thanks, Maybelline. I like you. At least I like this, so okay. Next up are my eyeshadows that I got from JD Glow, and this is in the shade No Way, and this is in the shade Fairy Acid, and these are my two absolute favorite eyeshadows. I love these so much. You can even see the reflect as I move it here in the light. Oh my gosh, if these aren't just breathtaking and gorgeous and lovely and wonderful. I've been hopping on the site here and there to see if there's anything else available. They have these now available in liquid form, and I have been wanting them so badly. Unfortunately, every time I go on the site, they are completely sold out. So if that tells you anything, it's because their stuff's pretty amazing. I can't believe I didn't add this in my little e.l.f. portion of the program. I have two of their liquid eyeshadows, so I totally spaced out on that one. And these are pretty decent. As long as you use them with corresponding shades, they really show up and have a great deal of pop. It's got this beautiful vibrancy, and these are gorgeous, and they're incredibly affordable. I love these. These are fantastic. So yay, e.l.f. I mean, really, they're doing great. I don't know. I love e.l.f. I'm a big fan. e.l.f. Send me free stuff. I love you. And now that we're in liquid eyeshadow land, let's talk about Stila for a minute. These are amazeballs. I love these little liquid eyeshadows so very much. They are gorgeous. They do have a nice, beautiful vibrancy. They just glitter up a look so beautifully. They're stunning. I love these in the inner corner of my eyeshadow looks. Oh my gosh. I mean, how freaking stunning is that? My little Stila collection is something that I'm really happy to have. I just recently purchased these to re-up because I had a bunch of the little ones like this, but they dry out kind of quickly, especially these smaller ones. So I went ahead and got myself some new ones, and I'm very excited to have them back in my life because they're beautiful and they really do punch up an eyeshadow look. To be honest, they can really make it absolutely stellar. So Stila, you are fantastic, and I'm very happy to have you in my collection. Okay, this is my little Touch and Soul single. You guys saw me do a review on this. Again, very much like the Super Shock. It is very lightly, gently pressed. It's very soft. It does have pigment, but I have a hard time wearing this with my hooded eyes, so I am still trying to figure out how to get to use this properly. I'm not wanting to give up on it just yet because, well, I don't know, it's beautiful, and I want to be able to use it without it becoming really, really messy. So this is my little Touch and Soul. It's the only thing I own from them is this little single, and yeah, and she's out of here. All right. Next up, we got our little bento box from Kaja. I love this. These are all little shimmers, but these little stacks are so cute, and they're very pigmented. They've got a great deal of shine and reflect to them. They're gorgeous. I'm so glad that I got this. I had a really great time playing with this. Although I don't use this every single day, I really do enjoy these eyeshadows because they are very soft and creamy. They're very pigmented. That right there. And it's such a beautiful shimmer. These little, I don't know, and I love the packaging. There's something just about this that I love this. These little Kaja bento boxes are just adorable. I would like to get more of these actually, to be quite honest, because they're fun, they're cute. Some of their stuff, I mean, it's a little gimmicky, but the shadows function beautifully. So even though it may be a little on the gimmicky side, I'm not gonna fault it for that because I think it's actually kind of clever and fun and it works. So that's a bonus Jonas. I don't know. I like you, Kaja. It's freaking cute. Glad I have this in my collection. Next up is from Remy Rose, and this is one that I did in a 99-cent store haul, and I was actually really surprised by this little eyeshadow duo. This works beautifully. It's got some really nice pigment to it. It's very nice and soft and gentle. It's just a pretty little eyeshadow duo for only 99 cents. So I'm keeping this in my rotation because I actually really enjoy this. This is a decent little eyeshadow duo. Yay, Remy Rose. Welcome to my family. This is our beautiful shade Debutante from Lele Posh, and this is just absolutely gorgeous. I love this little single eyeshadow. I won it in a giveaway from Miss Debbie Knobloch, and she is my little precious glitter fairy princess, and I love this little eyeshadow. I think it's stunning. It's a beautiful shimmer. It gives a gorgeous pop, and I am glad to have this in my collection. Also, some extras that Debbie was kind enough to send over is a beautiful little palette here, which got its butt kicked in the mail, and I still need to repress it, but I love it. I'm keeping it. It's not going anywhere. Part of my collection. Also, she sent over this beautiful Z palette. Look at all these gorgeous colors that I need to get to playing with, because can you guys just see? Look at this. These are just beautiful. I mean, the generosity and the kindness of this woman is like amazing, and I love the Z palette actually. This is fun. The shades in here are absolutely gorgeous. I'm just grateful to have them. They're very welcome in my makeup collection. They are from the beautiful Miss Debbie Knobloch. So thank you, Debbie, so much. These are gorgeous and I love them. It's part of my collection. Yay. This basically just hangs out in my background. I don't mess with this. I've had this for years and it's pretty freaking old, but as you can see, the little light in here still works. It's like this little vanity deal that they have, which is cute. It's a little gimmicky, but you know, it's something cute and I like it just for that purpose. Inside you've got some lipstick, and then you've got your blushes, and you've got your bronzers, and you've got your little eyeshadow palette in there and all that fun stuff. But it's just basically a part of my collection because I do like collecting this sort of thing and I enjoy having it in the background. I like the packaging and I think it's just cute. Also, it has sentimental value because I did get this many, many, many years ago. I don't think I'll ever get rid of it. This one is going to stay with me for forever. Next one is from the Balm, and this also hangs out in my background, and it's another packaging kind of deal. It's not anything that, I mean, I'm not using these eyeshadows. They're incredibly old. It's not even to have, basically to use. It's just for the fact that I enjoy it. It has sentimental value. It's really adorable packaging, and it's just something that I want to hold on to. I've tried a couple of things from the Balm, particularly their mascara, and I do enjoy their packaging, but their products in general, I can't say that I'm a big fan because I think that mascara was really clumpy and terrible if I remember correctly. I didn't do a video on it, but I do recall not liking it, and the only thing that I ended up really liking about it was that the packaging was kind of cool. Just that old school kind of pin-up girl kind of packaging to it. It was just really neat, but the product itself was kind of garbage, so I don't know, man. That's just like, just my tots. Just my tots. I think that's it. So we're gonna go ahead and reconvene in the makeup room. Yay! So guys, I have one last eyeshadow palette to mention, and that is the little Urban Decay Mini Born to Run. This is not one I use very often. It's just kind of okay, not super blown away by these eyeshadows. I mean, these two are kind of cool right here, but other than that, you know, I don't really gravitate toward this one, but I did want to mention it because it is part of my collection and I just forgot to throw it in there with the others. So making mention of this one, and that's that for that. That's my eyeshadow collection. So guys, that is it for today's video. I just want to thank you so much for sticking around and watching. I hope you liked the video. I always appreciate spending time with you. I hope you all are safe, and I hope you all are having a beautiful day. Thanks. Bye.